Welcome to another abundant opportunity to grow your mind. This video is going to do wonders if you let it. And today we're going to be discussing how we can use content to rewire our brain and rewire our relationship to manifestation. Let's get into it. First, we're starting off with a crucial standpoint. It is impossible to embody words of advice as a lifestyle change with purely mental evaluation. Your body needs proof. Your mind and body are co-creators with each other. They require different needs in order to manifest and create. So let's get into our first cornerstone. Imagination. Your ability to imagine is the cornerstone to creation. Everything you see around you, the houses, the building, the technology, it's all a replica of natural biological creation. Biology in nature is the reference point to human creation. And you too also need a reference in order to manifest the reality that you're seeking. Creating a new reality needs imagination. This is not negotiable. So let's break down imagination. All shifts to a new reality needs a reference point, a form of relatability or strong self-concept in order to see yourself in that reality realistically. Your current micro experiences of the reality that you want, the bigger reality, those micro experiences are your reference points. They are what points you to the truth that the bigger scale of that exists. Because everywhere in life, there's a micro and macro scale of everything. So when your brain sees a small scale of reality, it now has proof or a point of reference that there's a bigger scale to this that is possible for you to manifest. Versus if you have no reference point, no micro experience of that in your life at all, you have nothing to go off of unless you witness someone else experiencing that reality. And again, it's not relatable to you because you don't experience it. So let me give you some examples so you can see this picture clearly. A micro experience can be, I do my hair really well. That reference point curates the imagination of, I can see very thin, very faint possibility of being a stylist simply because I can style my own hair. And the latter builds, now you're a stylist. I can see the reality of becoming a salon owner or training other people to become stylists. And it only goes up and up and up from there. An example emotionally could be, I was able to regulate my mood on my own. In one instance, I can see a thin possibility of me emotionally regulating myself on a consistent basis just because I have a reference point of doing it one time. And the latter builds. I am now self-regulated. I can see a reality of me having healthy interdependent relationships that I don't feel super anxious inside of. Are we following? Now let's get into the understanding of brain wiring and how this all ties into content creation. Brain rewiring goes beyond quotes. Your brain is the original computer. Remember, reference points. So the computer is created off of the reference point of brains. Data in the brain is equivalent to witnessing and experiencing reality. That is data. Before creating content, you were forced to wait for reality to present an opportunity for you to practice a growth mechanism. In other words, your ability to reshape your self-concept, to rewire your brain, was strictly based on if opportunity allowed you to do so. This requires a lot of time, a lot of opportunity waiting for, and also a lot of energy. You have to go out and do things to curate this new rewiring. For example, if I wanted to challenge myself with the fear to overcome the fear of being seen, in reality, I would have to go out in public or do something around other people, put myself in the position to actually cultivate and curate that fear being challenged. In comparison to content creation, I can create a video and put myself on the internet and face the fear of being in front of as many people, being in front of the World Wide Web. That is instant. I can do it from my bedroom. I can do it in my car. I can do it no matter where I am. And it's just by the click of a finger. So content creation offers you the opportunity to fast track your internal state, your internal state and your internal being, to fast track the shifts that you already likely want to make in yourself. Every time you post something, despite being afraid, every time you witness someone embrace a cringy moment that you felt the need to hide and to cower away from, I'm not calling you a coward, I'm just saying, I didn't have a better word. The opportunity to process an opinionated comment by someone, you knowing that you know you better than a stranger, rewires and shapes the way that you perceive being processed by other people in real life also. The list goes on and on and on, quite literally. So you're exposing your brain to data and self-concept rewiring. The way we would do this to a computer is we would give it a massive amount of data and just text and books and all of these things. We would run these things through the computing system, and therefore the computer is exposed to different experiences that shapes its reality and awareness and ability to process. So now you also have access to the internet instead of reality alone, which can also fast track your data consumption, fast track your ability to rewire these parts of yourself. This is gold. This is literally human development, human evolution on steroids. Next cornerstone is you learn about yourself. When ideas begin to circle inside of you, you learn what you truly enjoy, what you like talking about, what makes you happy, what you know about. Because a lot of the times, if we don't have practice to be able to express our thoughts, we don't even realize how much is really bottled up inside of us. How much creation, how much creative thinking, how much problem solving building, how much things that we've overcome in our lives. You also reconnect with the playful, expressive side of yourself. Typically, if you're sitting in your room or you're around friends, but you're more shy and timid, you're not going to put yourself out there because it's risky. You have the fear of being perceived. But when you just have a phone with you, you can practice a lot easier. You also learn how your brain works. You are learning how your brain processes information, how you break things down. And I encourage you to not use ChatGPT, at least like eventually like start to like micro dose your way off of it, because we want to really see our brains exercise what we're capable of in our own ability. Of course, like do what works for you, but this is just what has helped me to become a little bit more self-confident and reliant, which is what this channel is about. It's about teaching self-sovereignty. Another really potent factor. In reality, again, your opportunity to grow is limited because you're human and you have energy. And you can't just go out with friends every day or challenge yourself in every single moment of the day. But with content creation, you have a phone constantly 24/7 available to you. And you can post as much as you'd like. You can create as much as you'd like. There's literally no limit to how quickly or how much you can rewire your brain within a given amount of time. And finally, the stakes are much lower with content creation. You don't have anybody in your face directly. You can be in the comfort and private of your room. You can do multiple takes. You can delete a video if you'd like to. You have the ability to witness and process what you're about to post before you decide to share it with anyone. Versus in real time, you can't erase what you've already done. So it just gives your nervous system like a blanket, a little bit of area where you can actually start to develop yourself with lower risks and lower stakes. And if you're in a toxic environment or a toxic home where your positive self concept is constantly being challenged or reinforced by the people around you, you now have an opportunity to interact with an inanimate, essentially, object or thing that isn't the people around you that's actively harming you. So you can slowly start to brick by brick build this self concept up in a way that doesn't require you to do so with the people that's hurting you. Now, this point is probably one of the most important points. Remember, imagination is the most valuable currency. It's the biggest currency of all because everything stems from it. So the more that you increase your ability to imagine in a higher realm, beyond what you are at, the more that you rewire your brain, the more that you magnetize the ability to manifest abundance. The more that you shift your mindset, the more abundant you become. And I'm telling you right now, it is immediate. Immediate. From the moment you press post, it's done. From the moment you start filming, it's done. It's happening in real time. And that is the underrated gift of creation. Creating content online is extremely underrated for the benefits that it truly offers. And I'm here to tell you about it. You become very magnetic, and not just to people per se, but to all things, abundant to opportunity, imagination, creative energy. Again, abundant imagination is the cornerstone to riches in all aspect. And your self-perception again. That abundance and self-perception is literally what creates your life. And finally, we don't realize that abundance is not tangible until we create with it, until it's creatively expressed, until abundance is creatively expressed in a way that can be witnessed by other people. Oftentimes, we don't think that it's valid because our account doesn't have enough followers or enough likes that we subconsciously connect that thought to not being abundant. People are quick to discredit those who haven't gotten to the point of manifestation that can be idolized. But that removes their opportunity to value and to begin to rise with you, to rise with someone that's relatable to them, helping to prove to their minds that someone that looks like me is achieving internal success. And I have the opportunity to see it grow, to prove to myself that I can do it too. That is the key point. And I'm telling you now, it doesn't take a million followers. It doesn't take not one like. If you put yourself out there, you will be witnessed. And that is the currency. Once you're witnessed, once you reshape and rewire your brain and your self concept from simply being witnessed, I'm telling you that abundance cannot help but follow. The views can't help but come in through consistency. You are going to win at this. This is not negotiable. And I know that it sounds like it's not real, but I'm telling you that before social media, it was these self concepts that built wealth. You're not a flawed person to where that if you don't change your perception of yourself, you can't manifest all the things that you want or that you see other people have. And all it takes is a subtle shift. And this shift, I'm telling you, it's so low risk that you would just be sitting on money, sitting on opportunity to be the best version of yourself at a faster rate. Challenge those fears. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today in this one. I'll see you in the next one.